What's this? Native, ooh, native flora. Oh, I do like plants. Ooh, all right, native flora of New Zealand. Oh, I am so stoked for this. Okay. Silver fern, a national symbol of New Zealand. The silver tree fern is named for the silvery white underside of its fronds, also known by its Maori name, ponga. The silver fern is medium-sized, reaching around 30 feet high, with fronds up to 13 feet long. I'm sorry, that's medium-sized? 30 feet high fern? Oh my god! I thought the royal fern was ridiculously large. Are you kidding me? It's generally found in drier forest or open scrub. Okay. So it like, oh, and it's a plant that likes dry. Can it grow in the US? I want it. Okay, Mount Cook lily. Oh, they don't even look like lilies. They're pretty. An alpine plant found in the mountains of the South Islands. The Mount Cook lily is actually a white buttercup and not a lily. See, I said it didn't look like a lily. It is the world's largest buttercup? That's so cool. I didn't know about that. We have buttercups here, but they're invasive. Well, I think we have two kinds of buttercups, and the ones that we have in our yard are specifically invasive. That is so cool. It's a white buttercup. That's really cool. Spider orchid. I know this one. I've heard this one. The spider orchid belongs to the Nematoceras gene and favors damp, shady sites on forest floors. The name derives from the flower's resemblance to a spider. You don't say. I think it looks more like a what are those called? With the curled shells you get in the ocean. Nautilus. Nautilus. Yeah, it looks like a nautilus. At least the drawing does. Mamaku, also known as the black tree fern. The mamaku is the tallest of the native New Zealand tree ferns. It can grow over 65 feet tall. I had a very different expectation of what ferns were. You're telling me that's a fern? The iconic hexagonal pattern on its trunk. Oh, okay, so it has a hexagonal pattern on its trunk. It's formed when old fronds drop off the tree. Oh, I've seen those. I didn't know it was a fern, though. I wonder if it's a true fern. Can't be a true fern. Okay, waterfall fern, also called Colenso's hard fern. The waterfall fern grows in wet forests throughout the country. It is typically found on steep banks or rocky outcroppings near waterfalls. Well, that makes sense. Kari, at 100 to 130 feet tall, belongs to the conifer family. Okay, conifer, that's tree. That's a legit tree. See, now we're in the right fern, or right, not right fern. Now we're in the right ballpark. Belongs to the conifer family, and it is one of the tallest and longest living trees in the world, reaching ages over 1,000 years old. Kauri grow on the North Island. Do I need that? Do I need to go to the North Island? Okay, Picao, golden sand sedge. Oh, I love sedges. They're so fun. They're just like little grasses, but when you get the right sedges in the right places, so good. Also called pingeo as a keystone. Oh, it's a keystone species. This is actually really cool. Keystone species are really cool because they evolved first, essentially. So then everything else has evolved to like go along with it. If this particular species didn't exist, neither would pretty much everything that grows and lives around it. It's a keystone species where things have evolved from it or evolved to benefit from it, I think. Anyway. It's so cool though. So this little grass, this sedge, is a keystone species in New Zealand. That is amazing. So it's a golden yellow and green sedge grass that grows in sand dunes. I have so much to say. Okay, they preserve them from erosion. So sand dunes. Let's talk about sand dunes for a second. It's really funny because I live kind of towards the beach, and it's a big thing. Don't ever step on sand dunes. Don't ever pluck the grass on the sand dunes. The grass is so important because it stops it from erosion. It's a sandy hill on a beach. The waves, the wind, everything's just going to erode it and just kind of go away. Even if you walk on a sand dune, you're irreversibly changing that sand dune and making it so that things can't grow there, at least right then. So when you see sand that has stuff growing in it, leave it the freak alone. It is so important to stop waves from crashing in and flooding houses and destroying roads. It is like the most important thing. So anyway, I have so much to say about it's not only a keystone species, but it also is a sand dune grass. That is so cool. Okay. All right. Rant over. It was once found in almost every sandy beach. Picao is now rare unless actively replanted. The sedge grass is used in traditional Maori weaving crafts. See, and this is what I'm talking about too. Not only is it like super important for just the earth of keeping things where it's supposed to be, but also for the Maori for traditional practices and stuff. They actually use this kind of thing. If it's gone or if it's no longer growing, like it is, it's being very difficult to grow right now, they're not going to be able to do that anymore. And that's sad, right? So it's so important when you see things like that, especially sand dunes, especially things like that, little grasses. They look so demure, they're so quiet. Just don't touch it. Don't touch it. I gotta breathe. Hold on. Rant over. Vegetable sheep. I've never heard of this. It's a variety of cushion plant. Vegetable sheep is found in dry, rocky alpine areas in the North and South Islands. It is named for its bushy appearance like a sheepskin, though the plant itself is hard to the touch. Reminds me of like rain coral. I can't wait to find that. Cockapik! I'm gonna call it cockapik. I don't think that's correct. This shrub belonged to the pea family! Ooh! Well, okay, I'm thinking sweet peas. Sweet pea is one of my favorite flowers ever. It produces large red hanging flower clusters. Although rare in the wild, the cockapik is a popular ornamental plant in gardens and planters. I love finding plants like this that are rare to find in the wild because I want to plant those everywhere in any place it can grow just to keep things like this alive and the diversity alive. It'd be so cool. I doubt I'd be able to have it here where I am, and it wouldn't really help it because I'm not in New Zealand. But this is so cool. So if you're in New Zealand, get these plants. This is so cool. Oh, that's the last one. Okay, well, I guess rant over. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk about plants.